trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, I have a special treat for you today. I want you to see this new book that has just come out. I've just published it. Trade What You See, Not What You Think. It contains all of the secrets that I know about what's going on in the market, folks. And I want you to pay attention because I'm going to show you how each of the pages look because it's all blank. Amazon sells this for $7, folks. I got this in the mail from somebody with a very nasty letter saying, how can you sell this book? And I had nothing to, I told the guy, I finally, I said, hey, look, just ask for your money back. I said, this is total bull. I had nothing like that. Forget this. Let's look on here. We got a potential trade set up. This thing has gone from 78. It's dropped $15 a barrel, $14 a barrel. Okay. Now look at that. If you'd been short that, to right there, you made $140,000. That's 70, whatever. Yeah, it'd be 100. Yeah, $140,000. What you made, $10,000. What, 1,000? Yeah, that's what you'd be making. Quite a bit of money. Anyway, now we might be at a bottom here. We've got a little three-drive, little butterfly pattern forming right now. Now, you can see, here's the pattern that we'll be watching. This is a butterfly. Remember, this is an hourly pattern, so it's not to be dismissed. It's not a nickel diamond. We've come down to this level right here. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to do two things. We're going to go over here. We're going to look at a long-term hourly. Okay, and there's where we are in the long-term hourly. We're going to bring it all the way over here. Remember, I'm not looking at anything. I trade what I see, not what I think. And where are we setting, boys and girls? Da-da, da-da, da-da. I got to buy one of these, and I'll tell you why. Let's just take a quick look for kicks and giggles to see if the AI program gives us anything to hang our hat on. Not really, because you see it didn't stop going down like it should have. You see, you had a low here, and then it's still going down. So that's not worthy. But this is the latter part of the day. I got to do that trade. I mean, that's a 618 and an ABCD and everything. If you like ABCD, for heaven's sakes, I think that the risk has been taken out of it. For God's sake, your stop would be below 6,400 would be my guess so far. Anyway, that's what this risk control is basically. What you're looking at as you're watching this here unfold here today. So that's one that we're paying attention to. Now we've had some questions here about the euro and the U.S. dollar. We'll cover that the best way that I can. Our usual guest today was Paula T., but she has some things. She has a job. She's absolutely a deputy sheriff of San Bernardino County, the largest county in all of California, and she happens to be their chaplain, and she does a super job. Now, you notice here, today we have taken out the highs back here. We said that was probably going to happen, and as you can see, that's still going. Now, we've had a very strong move here these last couple days here. We've gone from 114 up to that coveted level of 116. That's just a shy of $2,000. Now, if we look at oh dear, here the workmen are outside today. Let's pray that it's not going to happen bad. Now we've taken out the highs here, okay? Now, does this mean we're going to be exploding to the upside? Well, what we got to do is we have to look at the weekly, okay? And you can see here, we're banging against this number right up here. And that's not very far away. Just drawing it together like this, I want to show you, because there's a possibility that we could do this all the way to the upside. Now, the reciprocal of this, 53% of the dollar index is based on this euro. So what we need to do is we need to look at the dollar index. As we come over to the dollar index, we'll bring this up. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at it on a daily chart. And you're going to be seeing, I think we're banging out. We went through the 786 this morning. There it is right there. You can see that's why we're having some more downside. get this out of the way. Remember 2 days ago when we went into all this stuff, it went right to the dollar index, went right to the 382 during that time when the bombs were going off, and now we're backing off. Now, the real key to this, now this is my 2 cents worth, and like I say, if you pay more than this, more than 2 cents, you've overpaid. Here's where we are. We're coming down right here. Now look at this on a long-term basis, okay? You can see here, they're talking about the demise of the U.S. dollar. Well, there's a possibility. I mean, everybody loved it up here, right? Well, now look where we are. We've had this big break. We were short the euro and short the pound. Long the euro, long the pound during that time, and now we're down at this real critical level. If we close below 96, folks, if we close below 96, that's going to trigger what I think is going to start to be something pretty dramatic to the downside, because 96 is a key level to hold on to. The reasoning for that is, let's go to that daily chart to show you again, because we've hit it so many times back here. All we're doing now is we're just testing these stops from April. That's all we've done here. We took them out here. We haven't taken them out as yet. And given the news, you'd think that it would have taken it out. So that's the key. And a lot of this is based on what is happening with the bonds. And the bonds have been pretty strong. So you got to go with that. And that's pretty much what you have to think that you want to do. So let's take a look at that British pound, because it's getting really close to that 137 level that we were watching for quite some time here. So let's get it up here and take a look at it. I'm going to cover the grains in the next segment, so that's going to take a while to do that one, because hold on one second, I get more questions about that. Here's the daily on the British pound, and we'll get this up here. And I want to get rid of the dollar index right here, and then let's see, put this right there. There's where we are. Okay, get that out. Okay, here's where we are right now. We just took it out today. We've taken out that index right here. There it is right there. Okay, that's on the daily. All right, now, is this thing going to continue to go a lot higher? That's the $64 question. So what we need to do is we need to look at the weekly, okay? Now, there's the weekly. Remember back here, September, we caught that whole move down on that big butterfly pattern like that, and look where we are now. We're banging up here. We're up here 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, right up at this level right here. That's this big ABCD, folks. That's the 50% retracement, the big move up. You can forget this one because it's already exceeded that, but that's where we are. So this is not the time to get really bearish the U.S. dollar. In fact, I'm getting more inclined to get ready to short the British pound here, because we just took out the high here of last week, and it's not going anywhere. Hasn't even triggered the beeper as of yet. So anyway, that's what we're watching here on the currency, folks. And we need to look at, of course, the Japanese yen. The next segment will be the grains, folks. So stay tuned. We got some good stuff coming, I think. Here's where we are, doing nothing more than going side. Let's refresh this so we make sure we get everything in here for a little bit. Yeah, well, we had a move today, probably ABCD value. We'll come right back. We'll finish the Japanese yen. 877-927-6648.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is the third most popular of the foreign currencies. Euro is first. Second is the first is the British. First is the euro, 53%. Next is the British pound, about 22%. This one is almost tied with the British pound. Actually, this is more important than the British pound. Excuse me on that. It follows the ABCD patterns really nicely here. You can see this is a 1-3-5 pattern. Lines up perfectly. And you can see here what we just did here is just make a nice little ABCD pattern right up there, just a little above the 786, and you can see this was probably there for a heartbeat. Let's look at it on a 4-minute chart, and you'll see it probably was a real big spike. Let's just get it over here if we can get it up there. No, it wasn't actually. It got up there pretty easy, and it didn't, and then it backed off quite a bit. Okay, we're done with the currency, so you still think we're at the moment of truth on some of these, but the truth is still out, so we still have to wait and see what's going to be going on here with the rest of these things as we go through. All right, let's take a look here at this little pattern that we were watching here. First of all, let's get rid of the AI here. So I like this pattern, folks, for a lot of different reasons. You know, that 3-drive pattern that we were looking at right there, I think that was with a 13-minute chart. No, it was an hourly. I believe up there it was hourly. Yeah, so we hit that level. As long as we don't go below 63.98, it's got a chance to rally. One thing for sure you can say about this, you are getting it as a discount, because just 2 days ago it was trading at 78. Now it's at 64. That's what they call closing prices. So we'll see how that ends up. All right, let's move on here and let's get over to the grains and see what we're doing here with the grains. Hold on a second. We'll start out here with the do them one at a time. Let's get it out here 1 second, folks. Bear with me here a little bit. We're going to start out with the wheat first, because that was our one that we were really good at. Now we've got something big coming up here because we got the full moon coming in tomorrow, and it's known as a blue moon. You heard of that song, Blue Moon of Kentucky? Okay. Anyway, here's what we were watching here in the wheat. We bought the wheat down in here. Okay, we sold it. We bought it back on the pullback. It went against us a little bit, but never stopped us out. In fact, it didn't come even close to stopping us out, because there was the 3-drive to a bottom pattern. Now we've got this big move. Now this is a big move down, folks. And the reason why is, let's just show you. The reason why is it's a ABCD pattern. Okay, there it is. and if you move over just a little bit, as a matter of fact, I sent out the video when this was making that high that morning, and I sent it with a special. I didn't send it with a video. I sent it with just a special alert and an email saying get out of long beans and long net. Look, we were sitting right at the 61% retracement. Okay, he had an ABCD. That was the place to go short. I didn't do that. All I did was I looked at that ABCD and then said, wow, that looks like could be pretty bearish. And look at this, folks. We've given back. I mean, there's 50. We've given back. Let's see, from 16 to 77. That's almost $2,000. We made 1,100 here. We made 2,000 there. We would have given all of it back. Now we have to decide, given this action, is this going to be a place to buy it? That'll be either Wednesday or Thursday. Friday we have the live trading, and that'll be a lot of fun. But the real key to all of these, when I was looking at, because wheat is one of our largest crops, not as big as soybean, but the soybean one was the one that really said, wow, got to go short this. In fact, I was long, and I was chatting with Byron Tucker as I sent this out that day. Where is that? SX there it is right here. Get it up on the daily. And this is what I was doing last Friday. Okay, last Friday, right? We were making, it was in the middle of the morning, and we were right there. It stayed there all day, and then you can see it sold off a little bit on the end of the day. But then what happened was, the weather was extremely hot. Everybody said, soybeans, or not everybody, there were some people saying that soybeans were going to open limit up. And I said, well, I got out of the position, but what am I going to do? Well, I had a small short position on, very small size. Byron loaded a boat there because he likes 3 drive patterns, and he did it. And look what's happened here. It's dropped, wow, 40 cents. It's $2,000 in 1, 2, 3 days. He was risking 500, and he's up 2,000. And his strategy is, it's the same as my strategy, because he and I work together. We share information. Let's put it with that. I'm not in his league. All the people that he knows. Hold on here. See right here, from this low right here to this high, we're going to be coming in here. Tomorrow, the next day, is going to be the 382 of this, and it's going to be this one right here. Now it's coming down relatively quietly. There's the 618. So we're really closely. So we got 1, 2, 3 days down. Now, remember we took out the highs here, all right? Took out the highs way back here. So that's a different structure than was in here because we made a new high. That's a good sign because now you're coming down, all right? Now, you remember when we went long this one the first time, which was way back in early June 2nd or 3rd, I believe, right there at that ABCD right there. That was the real buy. And then, of course, had the nice move. We got out of it there, and now we're coming down into this level right here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a 60-minute chart, and you'll get up here, and you'll see there's where we are on the 60-minute chart. Now, this doesn't look nearly as wild as it is, but that's how wild it is. This is where we were Monday or last Friday, and you can see that little 3 drive pattern right here just on the 60-minute. I was looking at this on the daily, and I said, "Oh my God, you got to be ready to sell it." And last night we almost made a 61% retrace. Excuse me, a 382 retracement. We missed it by about 3 cents. However, the July contract did make the 382 retracement, and it's going down. Also, we have a situation in the soybean oil that is still very powerful. We want to get this up here. This is December oil. This is my favorite. Don't lose contact with this one, folks, because this one's got rural possibilities. Okay, now. Part of this is the fact of the biofuels because it's, they're involved. Let me refresh this. And, wow, left the gap down today. Ooh, that's almost an island. Okay, there was the move here. We didn't quite reach the ABCD pattern up in here. You can see that. We missed that. But we've had a really strong move here in the soybean oil, okay? And it's still very bullish. Look, it hasn't came off very much. What does it come off? 6%? In 1, 2, 3 days. It's coming down really strong. Look, we had a big move down here. Now we're coming into this gap area. Here's where everybody was limit bid. In other words, that's the first time you're going to see this on a chart in a long time. There was so much oil wanted that's what soybean oil that caused it to go limit bid and went from 51. You could have got out up in here, and then it stopped up into this area right here. So I'll be watching for a buy here in December oil. What I'm going to do now is go to the 4 hour, and I'll pull this up and see what we have. Anything perking in the not much. It's just a big move down, and there's not much to do here. So there will be Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. Friday's our live trading, so there'll be probably something pretty good on that day because we've got the lunar cycle, and this follows pretty nicely with the lunar cycle. The way I can say that is if I just bring this thing back to this, clear everything out, and I'm just going to do a quick cycle thing. When you come back, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, folks, I'm going to be working on this as we speak, so hold on.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I was going to show the lunar cycle with soybean oil, but it works best with corn and wheat, and soybeans pretty good, but wheat and corn are very good. But just look at soybeans. Now, on the bottom here, you'll see this little, when it's a circle like this means it's a full moon. When it's colored in, it's a new moon. Now, we got a big new moon coming in here tomorrow. It's a blue moon. That's what Norm was telling us about yesterday. It's special, and it's got, I think it has apogee or perigee lined up with it. It means the Earth is close to the moon as it can possibly be. Perigee far away. Folks, Pythagoras was doing apogee and perigee in 660 BC. The rest of the world didn't know the world was around until another 1,500 years. So if you look at these, sometimes they're off by a day or two. But what you have to do if you're going to trade patterns, you want to try to line it up. Okay, now we got a big pattern coming in here with support, and it's coming into the new moon. I'll look at this one right here. There was your high right up here. You were going up into the moon right here. Here's the full moon right here, right there, 2 days off the big high. So all you have to do is you add the patterns along with the timing. That's why the timings, you got to do all the little charts to, well, you don't have to, but that's what I would certainly suggest. Okay, now we'll get that out of the way here, and we're going to be covering that. Of course, tomorrow we'll be getting some more information, get some more information out on you, what we're watching here. All right, we'll get this out of this weed out of the way. Let's get this out of the way right now. Hold on a second here, and just a minute, folks. I got to check and see how. This is my most important one. Is look at this now. This is starting to work already. See, we've already had a nice move. Now that's 60 minutes. Let's go down to the 4 minutes so we can see we've had a nice move coming off the bottom. All right, now this is what we were. That boy, 72.58. Boy, that was a long time ago. But this is today's action. All right, let's just humor me here with ABCD, folks. Okay, look, this is really powerful stuff. There's your first ABCD, folks. It's all covered in the magic book here. Send me a check for $50 and you'll get all of the secrets that I know. As you can see, they're all in with the pictures. I can't believe a Jamocha did that, but it's really bad news. Anyway, he did get his money back. Okay, that's the first one that we had. Now we had another one right behind that. Now let's just verify that. There's your AB right there, CD right here. Now to prove it's right, get out of here. Stop that. We'll just draw the ABCD from the high. Let's see if it's an old 382. And lo and behold, there it is right there, the 382. So what does that mean? That means that somewhere down in here, there's going to be an ABCD to the downside. And we're just going to draw that one in just like this and put it in right there. And there it is right there. 63.89. The low was 6,400, spot on. So pretty close. And now it's moved $700. You know, you can go out to eat a couple nights a week if you got that working for you, right? Unfortunately, like we had yesterday, there's some losses that come in between that, because if you step in front of it and they don't work, you got to get out of Dodge, folks. That's the real key. You got to get out of Dodge. There's no other way to do it other than that. Okay, let's get this out of the way, and we want to move over here a little bit, and we have to cover the gold market. Okay, hold on. This was my trade of the day, folks. Let's get this up here. Here's where we are in the old gold. Remember, I sent this out a long time ago, and I said, watch this level right here. Okay, now, because we had this move right here, that was a move, that was a 382 to the downside. So all I did was, in the news, in the video that I sent out, I took this on I believe I took it on a 13-minute. There's what I did. Yeah, here's what we were looking at. Remember, we're looking to buy at 33.40. That was the number. Okay, 33.40 was the number. So, but I said, look what's happening here. Last night, in the middle of the night, you can see here it made a perfect ABCD right where you think it might be, folks. That's on page 16 of that book I just showed you. Should be on page 1. And there it is right there. So there's the buy order. I said buy this at 13.10 is what I said. The low was 13.08. And so it's doing okay. Got your stop at break even now. We're starting to get a little bit of action. You know, it's moving up pretty good. Now the key here, folks, is this one right here. Look, see, it's already completed that move right here. Okay, and it's taken just about the same amount of time, hasn't it? All right. So now what we're going to have to look at, and this is what is probably going to scare me, but I'm not being too scared. Here's where we look. We're sitting right at the 382 right now. This is it. If we can get popping, all we need to do is see a move here above 63.40, and then you got a really chance, folks. What's good about this one? I don't know if it's going to work or not, but if you look at this on that 4-hour chart, hold on, just get it right up here. The distance between right here and where we are, we took this out, folks, by $1. $1. Okay, now that was a sign there wasn't much. Now, if this thing starts to go up, this has real potential. I mean, it really does, because you've got that, all of these ABCDs lined up in here, and if all we need is a little close above the old number at 382 here. That means it only went to be 1 day below the 382, and if we can close above that number, which is 63.42, that would 33.42, that would be a really nice one to be involved with. But the good part is you're trading something that's worth $330,000, and you're in free right now. You're only risking $800 to start out with. Now you're in free because you got your stop at break even. The key is you want to see it close above the 33.42. Folks, it's still down $65. Are you kidding me? Look, it's no difference than over here, folks. You couldn't get anybody to buy gold right there. Nobody. Well, you could have a few people. No ABCD maybe, but there's your ABCD right there. Look at that. Now, how close did it come? That one came within $15 of the exact low. And if you added this to it a little bit, you're probably spot on. So the key here, the key level is closing above 33.42 today. And we've got 2.5 hours to go. In fact, it doesn't close because it keeps going. But anyway, watch that, stop at break even. And that's what you want to be watching. Now, I've been asked to take a look at platinum. I haven't seen platinum for a long time, but I've got a friend that's in it, and he said, I'm going to be listening to your show today. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to have to get it up here on the daily because it looks like a rocket ship. And as you can see, the rocket ship is still going. Look at this, folks, on the long-term weekly pattern, what it's done. We have reached a 1.618 expansion of that move way back here, okay? Now, if we go to the monthly chart, you're going to see, now, those of you don't remember this, but back here, this was in 2007, okay? Gold was still trading at a discount to platinum. It was a discount because gold was trading back then at about 900. Okay, let's move on here and we'll get right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hey, folks, one of the things people make mistake on is they buy something down here and then they go look at the monthly chart thinking it's going to go off the top. It might, but you put the order in on a intraday chart, small right, okay? So look, there would be what you would think would be your maximum potential. That would be, if you bought it right there, that's almost well, it would be about $1,000. So no matter what happened now, you would put your stop under this low right here, which would be 64.50, okay? And that way you're going to lock in a $500 profit. And if it starts to go, let it go. That's it's a small butterfly pattern is what it is. We showed you that before on the hourly chart. Let's do it again just to be showing you where we are. I'm going to be looking at some charts, and that's it. So what I want to do now is I would like to show the chart here of some of these stocks that we've been following that people, because a lot of things have happened since. Of course, it's happened. Let's take a look at the Apple here first. Apple even should be up. Well, everything is up, so I would imagine Apple would be up. And let's just see if it can do it. Boy, it's not up much. Boy, oh boy, look at this, hardly up at all. Wow. It's done very, very little. Okay, next one we always look at is Tesla. And we'll get up here and take a quick look at Tesla. If you have anything, you just let me know, and I'll try to show you the charts that we're looking at. Tesla's been doing pretty good. As you can see, well, it was up, and now it opened higher. Look at Tesla, folks. It's got a tremendous affinity to the opening price. Opens on the low, opens on the high, opens on the low, opens on the low, opens on the high, opens on the low, opens on the low, opens on the high. Do all of these, folks, and you realize the opening price will give you about a 75% chance of increasing your odds. And the way you do that is if you're long something and it is above the opening price, you have a better chance, 75% chance of making money on that trade for the day than you do if you're short something, okay, and it's above the opening price. The odds of you winning on that are only 25%. Therein lies the key, all right? So remind ourselves as we're doing stuff like that, that's what it's all about, probabilities. It's not about certainties. Let's see if NVIDIA has made a new high. I would be not surprised if it has not. So let's move on here, and we'll bring it up. And at 150 was the old high, and we're not there yet. Boy, oh boy, you'd think you would have gapped up there to that level. The old high was 150, if you remember. Way back there, we were talking about that pattern right there, the little ABCD. That was another butterfly. Let's just draw it in, because that's what we were doing. That's where that young man from Southern California was telling us that He didn't believe this stuff, but, well, there's the ABCD, and then there was it down here. There was your target down here at 85. So we're not making new highs yet, but folks, it appears with all the power that's going on in here that it's probably not going to be too far down the road that we are going to be hitting it, okay? So let's look at that one. And we've got a couple others that we've been following. The other one was JP Morgan gapped up into new high ground today, folks. I heard it because my beeper went off at very early in the morning. Hold on one second. JP Morgan, where are you, JP? There it is, right there in the bottom here. JP Morgan, okay. It hit 85, I believe, or something like that, 81. And I believe that was a new high on the year. Yes, it was. See, there's the old high way back here, February. We did, and we lift a gap this morning, folks. That's why the Dow, part of the reasons why the Dow's up 400 points. Now let's look and see at some of the others in that Dow group. Microsoft, this has been the leader of the pack. It's got to be up big. And again, it's also gapped up, and it's still going higher. So we could be looking at new highs on all of these stocks, folks, very easily, of course. But I don't know if it'll continue or not, but that's everybody's talking about it, so everybody's probably going to be right, at least for a day or two. Who knows? All right, now, had another one that we're watching is Palantir. This is John Jameson's favorite. That's also making new highs on the year. As I recall, yep, it's making new highs on the year today, along with all the other big stocks. And we want to look at Tesla. We've already did that. Okay, Google, because we had that. This is probably going to be a failed head and shoulders pattern, folks. For the first time that we had this, it was one that we really liked. That was on the weekly chart. Get that up here. Where's the weekly? There it is. We had that head and shoulders drawn in, and let's see where we are today. Whoa, are you kidding me? That's the weekly? No, that's not right. That's Goldman Sachs. Shut the front door. You see how they're spelled differently? GS is Goldman Sachs. Google is GOOG. Look at this. Now, all of our, see this 1.618, that's where we recommended the buy. That, my friend, is called a bad tick. So all I'm going to do now is delete it. And you can see we are going to make new highs in the Goldman Sachs. We are only 10 points away, folks, of making a new high in Goldman Sachs. So chances of us going to new highs, pretty darn good, I would think. Okay, now we had one other one, that's Google, and then we'll move on to a couple things here with the grains, because we got a lot of profit potential coming in these, folks, so we don't want to lose that. Okay, here's what it's still working. Look at this, folks. Even with the market going nuts, okay, this head and shoulders pattern that we've been watching, there was your left shoulder right here, okay? There was your head right here, okay? There was your shoulder right there. And look at this, folks. It's still $17 under the shoulder. So the head and shoulders, and it's working today. It was down, and now it's back up by just a little bit. So this is a stock that is that don't like me, that's for sure. I can promise you that. But that's a head and shoulders, and it's still working. So when they work, you stick with them, and when they don't, you move out and find something else. Okay, now let's get up here and seeing right now we got the stocks are still increasing here. So it looks like where we got here. Let's move on to get this out of the way here. Mike, let me just get rid of these because I'm not going to be looking at these anymore. And we don't need to look at them because I do this for the few people that like to look at the stocks along with this other stuff. And that's not my bag. I do a different thing. Okay. Now we'll get rid of this one right here. And then we're not going to worry about Tesla. What we should worry about is that crude oil trade that we put on while we were here. Okay. And it's still holding up. So remember, let's remember looking at this. You don't want to look for the sky, but so far you're up about $700. So you gotta follow it with that. Remember, we put this on a I believe it was a 4-minute chart, something like that. Yeah, there it is. There was your butterfly down in here. Now we rallied up to here. Now, if it's really good, we got a few hours to go here. And the key is watching these trends. We have a possibility of a really strong trend here because this is the first time we've had this big a rally since this whole thing has come down. So what I would be watching is to watch and see if this, in fact, is going to be, hold on, let me show you. You're going to like this. Hold on. From there to there. That is going to be the level you want to do it. So that's why your stop would be right below the 382. So your stop would be right here about 47. So you figured you got filled at about 10 or 15. I got filled at 15. So that would lock in a $300 profit. So let's take a break. And tomorrow we got a special guest, folks. Stan the Man Harley is in the house.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com. Then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I was going to give you a little advertisement for the live trading that we're going to do from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock on Friday. There's a few spots still available. What we're doing is the same type of stuff we're doing here, only we can do it all first 3 solid hours, preparing what the day is going to be, looking for 2 or 3 or 4 trades during the day, using smaller patterns, but they're the same as the larger ones. The difference is fractals. That's all it is. So those are the kind of things that we'll be looking at. We haven't been profitable every day, but I think we've done 19 of them, and we've been profitable in more than 14, as I recall. Last week, the last 2 weeks ago, we had a really big one. And Friday, we have volatility like this, folks. This is the kind of stuff that we look for because, you watch the patterns and the 382s and the things that think about how much risk you're on when you're doing a trade. trade, it's all about how much you risk, folks. It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you don't lose, and that's the real key. All right. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the top in the stock market. It doesn't say. It could be. It might go up forever. It's certainly possible. But by golly, with emotionalism like this, it is really quite exciting to see what's happened to some of this stuff. So that's what we're, watching here today. Paula T will be with us next week, and tomorrow will be Stan Harley at the break, and he's always got some good stuff. And as you know, Stan has been roaringly bullish, and he is still roaringly bullish, and so that's good. He's doing great. And we'll find out what these things are going on. I could tell Sunday night that the market was not going to collapse very much because it opened at the previous day's low, which was last Thursday, and that was Thursday, was a holiday, but then that's where it bottomed, was on that Thursday on the overnight session, and then we hit that again Sunday night, and from there it's been a one-way Corrigan to the upside, and we're going to find out what's going to happen soon. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.